All right, guys, Black is here. There are a lot of automotive YouTubers online that don't know much about automatic transmissions. And the reason they don't know is they never been taught. They never talked to anybody. A lot of them simply don't have the skill to mess with automatic transmission. Automatic transmission is not like an engine. There are a lot of engine builders. There's less transmission builders, okay? There are a lot of people who would take a transmission out and put one back in, but there's very few that would take that transmission apart, put it back together, okay? First of all, before I forget his name, the online mechanic tips. There's a black guy. He's got an interesting voice, and he always messes with his nose, and his nails are dirty. He's always messing with his nose. Bothers the hell out of me. I can't stand watching this video because he always messes with his nose. Anywho, that's the only bone I have to pick with him, and it's not even worth talking about. This man agrees with me, and he's the only person online that agreed with me. The only person, okay? People, the car wizard, I think I heard of Scotty Kilm. I hadn't talked to Scotty Kilm in a long time. I mean, I haven't seen a video in a long time. The Car Care Nut, a bunch of YouTubers, online mechanics, whatever, would tell you that if you buy a car, if you own a car, just say like, you go out and buy, it doesn't matter, you go out and buy a car, or you own a car that has, say, 150,000 miles, okay? The automatic transmission fluid has never been changed. They all say to leave it alone. Do not change the fluid. If you do, you're gonna mess the transmission up, all right? Their reason is this, and it sounds plausible to a person that don't know about transmissions. To a person who knows about transmissions, it's a stupid ass reason. All right, but again, very few people know about transmission, so it seemed like a good idea. Their reason is this: they claim that that transmission has grit inside the fluid. That grit inside the fluid is what keeping the clutches from slipping. And when you when you change the transmission fluid and you put brand new fluid in there, it don't have that grit in it, and your transmission will start to slip. That is 100% bullshit. Okay? The online mechanic tip agrees with me. Now, I wish I could go find the damn video, but I was supposed to have made a video a long time ago, but I forgot to do it. I don't feel like looking for that video now. But in one video, he talks about a transmission, and he said that that was wrong. Completely wrong. Now, what actually happens is, if you have a transmission that say got 150,000 miles, you've never changed the fluid and filter, all right? But then you decide to change the fluid and filter, and a week later, the transmission starts slipping. And people go, oh, I shouldn't have changed the transmission fluid. The problem is this: the person lied. The person lied. They always lie. They'll tell you, oh, it was running fine. If it was running fine, why did you change the fluid then? Well, it was shifting a little weird, but you just said it was running fine. I had this conversation with a guy once. His wife had a Dodge Caravan. He said, transmission running good. We dropped the pan, changed the fluid, and a week later, the transmission started slipping. And I said, come on, I tell the truth. Something was wrong with the transmission, because people don't change the transmission fluid until something is wrong with it. Then he go, well, you know, it was shifting a little weird. But anyway, let me tell y'all the real reason. Not Scotty Kilm, not the Car Wizard, not the Car Care Nut, because they're just repeating what somebody else told them. They don't know. But let me tell you the real reason why shops won't change the transmission fluid if your car have 150,000 miles. You ready for this? Again, people never change the transmission fluid until something goes wrong with the transmission. When the transmission starts to shift funny, now they want to change the transmission fluid. They take it to a shop, and the shops have got hip to this, okay? The shop changed the transmission fluid and filter, or the fluid or whatever, and then a week later, a month later, whatever, the person's transmission started to slip. They take it back to the shop. They blame the shop for this. They try to throw the blame on the shop, but it wasn't the shop. They knew the transmission was effed up when they took it there. That's the only reason why they took it there, because it was starting to mess up. But again, the shops have gotten hip to this, so they won't change the transmission fluid. Now, oil changing places and crooked ass shops will talk you into flushing the transmission, usually when it's a newer car and it don't need a damn transmission flush. Here's a good example. I had a neighbor, had a 2002 Chevrolet Venture van he had bought brand new. Transmission running fine. At 100,000 miles, he said he took it somewhere. I don't remember where he said he took it, but he took it somewhere and they flushed the transmission fluid for him. And he thought that he was okay. And speaking of flush, a lot of people, when they hear the name flush, when they hear the word flush, they think that it's a hellified thing. People think about poop in the toilet. You know how when you poop in the toilet, it's all brown or whatever, and then you flush the toilet and there's brand new white and clean water. So people think transmission flush the same way. It is not. It is not. It's not. It's not. Now here's the thing. Transmission shops will tell you that we take all your old fluid out and replace it with new fluid. 100% bullshit. You can't take all the old transmission fluid out and put new transmission fluid in it. You can't do that. To get all the fluid out, you have to take the transmission completely apart and then put new fluid in it. Why? Because the new fluid is going to mix with the old fluid. Now, you can keep running it. First of all, they don't do that. Let me tell you how a flush machine works. A flush machine works like a damn blood machine or a kidney machine. What I mean by that is they hook the coolant lines up to their machine, right? They crank your engine up and they run it, okay? It runs your transmission fluid through their filter and it sends it right back to your transmission. And they tell you, oh, it's been flushed. It's been bullshit. That's what it's been doing. That does not help, okay? See, another thing is this. People listen to the term transmission fluid change, and they believe that the fluid is extremely important. It's really not that important. Now, whenever I say that, you get some young person or you get some stupid ass person that'll say, oh, so you saying I can drop the pan and change the filter and put the old fluid back in? I never said that. I said it's not that important. The filter is the most important thing, all right? But you got the old fluid out, so why don't you just put new fluid back in there, okay? But let me tell y'all something that happened to my sister. My sister had an 88 Suburban. She bought from my niece, baby daddy. I told her not to buy this damn truck, but she bought it anyway, right? But that's not important. What's important is this. My sister and I, we from time to time get into it and we won't talk for months sometimes. And then something dramatic will happen, or sometimes she'll call me or I'll call her and we'll start back to talking. But anyway, my sister had this 88 Suburban. It was 4x4, four-wheel drive, but it was a 1500, all right? So my sister drives like Mario Andretti, okay? Except she don't drive as good as he does. She actually drives more like that's another story. Anyway, my sister, she put her foot in the gas. She don't believe in taking off lightly, okay? Well, anyway, She decided one day to put her foot in it, and she noticed that the transmission slipped going to second gear, right? And so we wasn't talking, and she'd heard me talk about transmission fluid, transmission filter. She'd seen me take a transmission apart. But again, we wasn't talking, so she decided to take it to a transmission shop. I don't remember where, but they told her that they could not change the fluid because it was an old transmission, and if she changed the fluid, it would make it worse because of that bull crap that I just said that all them YouTubers like to repeat. It's 100% bull crap. They didn't want to change her fluid because they assumed that her transmission was going bad. And if they changed the fluid and then it went bad a week later, she was going to come back and blame them. And most likely she would. Anybody would. That's the reason why they won't change it. But anyway, she decided to call me. Told me her transmission was slipping. And you know me, I love working on transmissions. Well, y'all don't know me, but I love working on transmissions, all right? So anyway, I come over and I drive the truck and the damn truck run fine. I'm like, what are you talking about the transmission slipping? She didn't come with me. She said, now you know damn well how I drive. Did you drive like I drive? And I was like, no. She's like, well, drive like I drive. I took her around the block again, and I put my damn foot in it, and it slipped going to second gear. Now, most people, this the part that tripped me out. A lot of mechanics would do this. When they find out the transmission is slipping, they keep driving the transmission and just keep the foot down on the gas until the transmission shield. Even if it's slipping, they just keep the foot in the gas. Me, I don't do that. I put my foot in about 3/4 throttle. When it went to second gear, the transmission started to slip. But before, I didn't just hold my foot down until it caught. As soon as I realized it was slipping, I took my foot off the gas. And I turned around and brought it back to the house, okay? I told her, I said, listen, I'm gonna drop the pan, change the filter. It may be too late, but I'm gonna drop the pan, change the filter anyway. All right, so it was a 700 R4, right, transmission. I dropped the pan, and the fluid came out. The fluid really wasn't that dirty. The fluid looked like it had been changed before. Well, apparently it had been changed because it wasn't really that dirty, but guess what? Whoever changed it did not put the magnet back in the transmission. That ain't the reason why I was slipping. I'm just saying they didn't put the magnet back in the transmission. Well, anyway, I took the filter out. And I took some of the old fluid, turned the filter upside down so it would face down, and I poured old fluid. Well, I tried to pour old fluid through the filter. The fluid bagged out. I went in the house and got her. And I showed her how when I poured the old fluid through the filter, it wouldn't go through. This is the reason why the transmission was slipping. The filter was stopped up. When your filter is stopped up, the pump can't suck enough fluid to make the clutches grab, a grip, a hold. Well, in this case, it's the band, the second gear band. It wasn't enough fluid to make that band grab the sun shell. Now, I put a new filter in it, bought some cheap transmission fluid or whatever, and put it in. I didn't have a magnet to put back in there, so I just put the transmission back up, got everything back done, took the car for a drive, drove it normal for a few miles till the transmission warmed up. Didn't really have to, but I just did that to make sure the transmission was cool. And then I drove like she did. Put my damn foot in it, and it went to second gear, no problem. Now, again, this when I think about stuff like this, it's when it pissed me off when the Car Wizard, Sky the Kilmer, the Car Care Nut, or any of them other people hate when I talk about it. But to me, that's what you are. You are a stupid ass person when you tell somebody to don't change the transmission fluid. When the car got 150,000 miles, leave it alone. Think about this for a second. You got an air filter, people change it. You have an oil filter, people change it. You have a cabin filter, people change it. I don't think any cars have any power steering fluid filter. I've never seen one before. At least I don't think I have. But the point I'm making is You change all those filters, but then you tell a person, don't change transmission fluid if it got a bunch of miles on it. And the thing is, some people will hear that and they go, damn, that sounds kind of stupid. But they listen to the car wizard. The car wizard is not going to lie to me. He really cares about people. He's not going to lie. Let me tell you something about the car wizard. I should have made a video about this separate. Some weeks ago, or months ago, the car wizard put on some shoes and made a video, and he pretended he had knee problems. And these shoes helped his knee problem. After wearing these shoes, he don't have knee problems anymore. And I left a comment, I bet you the next video, he won't be wearing them shoes again. I ain't seen them shoes since. No video he's had, he been wearing them damn shoes. He still wear the same cheap or whatever sneakers he been wearing before. But that particular video, he wore those shoes and he lied to his fans about they stopped his knee from hurting. If they did, why the hell your ass ain't wearing them again? Dre, y'all have a good day.